Mon frère, Yor, on est quelque part, il parle d'une abri. Ah, moi, abri. Nous sommes en insécurité, ok?
Mon frère. Viens. Moi là-bas, là.
There were troops everywhere, but they weren't making much of a difference. It seemed like nothing could stop the inevitable. Despite the odds, there were some Central Africans in Bangui trying to stop their city from tearing itself apart. Jupiterek, a local NGO, was doing its best to urge reconciliation. Tell me about this clinic, why it's so special, and how it fits into your strategy of reconciliation.
What we have done is to take contact with community leaders, pastors, imams. We talk with them to encourage both Christians and Muslims to come here. And also in our team, we have both Christians, nurses, and Muslims, nurses also, which work together. We see that it is a strategy to build peace.
Do you think a place like this can help foster peace between the communities?
Même là, après que quoi, une population de place encore mun izarnangia, ya quoi d'abord musulman, chrétien, quoi une famille encore, il y a déjà la grande bénédiction contre ti.
Jupiterek gave us some hope, but they were facing incredible obstacles. They needed much more help, and it seemed like international support would soon be on its way. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power, a strong proponent of humanitarian intervention, came to town a few days later to pledge support.
President Obama asked me to travel to the Central African Republic to show the people of the Central African Republic that America cares, that the United States is well aware of the suffering that has gone on across the country, but also that the United States wants to determine what it can do in order to support the path of stability, the path of reconciliation, and the path, of course, of a return to democracy in this country.
Do you think it sends a mixed message to stress the need for accountability while leaving Tertullian in office?
What is very important, I think, is that he and the other transitional leaders take steps to show the people that every crime committed here is one that this government takes seriously, whether that is a crime by Séléka militia or a crime by anti-balaka. If those messages are not sent, there is a very real risk that the cycle of retribution and retaliation will take hold.
Right after Power spoke, we saw the president's family catching a flight to Benin, fleeing the country. For many in the Central African Republic, Power's words would not be enough. Anything short of removing the president from office would not be acceptable, and we were about to find out why. Samantha Power just left. We got a call that the anti-balaka are attacking now. So we're going to see what is happening. They've been telling us they're going to attack for a few days now. We headed towards PK-12, where the attack was happening. It was about 5 p.m., and the curfew there was 6. So we figured we'd check it out and then go back to the hotel. Oh, shit. Okay, follow, go. We followed the French troops for a bit, then decided it would be wise to give them a little bit of distance before continuing. That's when we started running into trouble. We came up on a checkpoint that had just been set up. The anti-balaka attack had been relatively minor, but the former Séléka, now masquerading as Chadi and Fomak, had responded by lighting up the surrounding areas with a ton of gunfire.
Stop! Wait!
Oui, on est là.
C'est le Tchadien qui va tuer tout le monde!
C'est eux qui viennent. C'est la Fomak Tchadien.
Il est ici en Gobongo, il va tuer tout le monde ici. Le Fomak Tchadien qui a fait ça. Le Fomak Tchadien. Venez filmer.
Venez filmer, s'il vous plaît.
Mon frère. Viens. Moi là-bas, là.
Tirez 2 personnes. Allez, tirez 2 personnes.
Regardez maintenant.
2 men had been shot. We were trying to figure out how to get them to the hospital, but we were surrounded. We decided to load the wounded men into the truck and try to take them to the hospital. As soon as we got moving, we had to stop again. There was no safe way out.
Pardon, on peut aller, sinon on va mourir tous. J'ai mal au ventre. Lango.
How do we get to the hospital?
We didn't really know where we were or how to get out. We were defenseless, so we tried to grab a white flag, hoping it would serve as some protection.
Where are the French when you need them?
Let's go.
Mon frère, Yor, on est quelque part et parle d'une abri. À moi, abri. Nous sommes en insécurité, ok? Oui.
So,
Ouais, please. Mon frère, tu entends, non?
Ah, mais maman vient.
Actuellement, il y a insécurité. Hein? Donc maintenant, alors, encercler du contraire.
15 minutes after Samantha Power left, we talked about reconciliation. We were on the road. They were saying it was Chatty and Fomac, or ex-Séléka, started firing. We got trapped. We had to run in side streets. We took the car in. There were 2 wounded. We picked them up. We're trying to drive out of here, but there was more gunfire. We had to leave. And now we're hiding and waiting. The locals have been kind enough to help us out, show us where to go. But it's tense, and like this is what these people go through every night. It's terrifying.
Oui, ce sont des Fomac, ils se disent des Fomac, mais alors c'est des Fomac tchadiens. Donc c'est des Séléka qui se sont portés en uniforme Fomac pour tirer sur la population civile. Oui, les Français sont partis vers PK12, donc ils ne sont pas là. Donc la population est en danger pour le moment.
After it got dark, a few locals told us they could show us a back road to a nearby church where we would be safe and the wounded men could receive treatment. We set off on foot towards the church. If we didn't see the Séléka along the way, we would call the driver and tell them it was safe. So we went off into the darkness. We finally got to the church. There were already tons of people hiding out there. We called the truck and they arrived soon after.
À la 4, pardon, 4. À la au chaud.
A short while later, we were told that the men in the back didn't make it. A few weeks after we left, President Joe Todia stepped down from office and a new president was elected. Many members of the Séléka fled north, continuing to attack. The anti-balaka increased their attacks against Muslim civilians. Brutal lynchings became routine. Bangui's Muslim population dwindled from around 130,000 to less than 1,000. The United Nations reported that the entire western part of the country has been cleansed of Muslims and is now debating deploying a peacekeeping operation. The time we spent in the Central African Republic really was a major turning point in the conflict. When the French troops came in to put a stop to the Séléka's reign of terror, it was a welcome sight for many. But everyone underestimated the anti-balaka. And despite them promising that they would drop their weapons after the Séléka left, they proved to be just as destructive. The UN sending peacekeepers would be a step in the right direction. But it could be a long time before Muslims are safe again in Bangui. And an even longer time before those who are forced to leave can come back.
Là, ça va, ouais, mais bon,